afternoon, good evening. What's going on? Oh my goodness. How's everybody doing out there? Well, I'm driving around. I just dropped my daughter off at school, and so now I'm heading back home, and I'm going to do my makeup session. So stick around. Got some things to talk about. See you in a bit. Hey everybody, it's Shauna. Hey, thanks for checking in and coming back and following me again. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Hope you guys are doing good. Well, I'm doing fine. The weather's looking a little bit gray today. We'll see where it takes us. Anywho, I'm going to do my makeup tutorial, and I got a few things to talk about. As usual, I got something to say. Man, I'm telling you, I just yapping. Anywho, so this time I didn't really take all my makeup off. I never really do. I sometimes when I go before I go to bed, I don't have a real makeup routine. I mean, as far as when I take off my makeup, I basically use Nivea. These they're makeup tissues for removing the makeup, and then I also use Biotherm. But oftentimes I just wipe it down, and then the rest I do it the next day, the next morning. So I still have some makeup rest on, and so I'm going to remove it. And this is Biotherm. That's how you pronounce it. It's a French company, and yeah, it's a really good makeup remover. I can definitely recommend it because a lot of makeup removers, they often have I don't really like so much the oil base. Only if I have like a lot of heavy eye makeup on. Like sometimes with the Yves Saint Laurent, the eyeliner is so good that sometimes it's hard to get it off. So a good oil base remover is often good to use. I have, if I use it, then I use MAC. I like their removers. MAC and Biotherm, great products. So. Anywho, yeah. So let's talk, man. I don't know. I was just thinking. Okay, so I got so many things to talk about, and this topic just popped up in my head. And so, how many of you all are shopaholics? Be honest. Come on now. You know you love to shop, right? I mean, which woman does not like to shop? I love to shop, sometimes too much, and I must admit it did get me into some trouble. How can I say? Yeah, trouble. I just got too much stuff, and oftentimes I turned around and half of that stuff I didn't even use, and it was so embarrassing because it's like, oh man, I buy these things and with no discipline. I just buy it maybe it's because it's on sale, or I'm just thinking, oh, I can, imagine myself in that, or maybe the item is a little bit too small, and so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy it, and then later I'm gonna put it on. This could be my how can you say, my motivation to lose some more weight, and then, you turn around at the end and then you got all this stuff. All this stuff. And that's not just with clothes and makeup. I mean, it's with everything. I mean, I'm a bookworm. I love reading books, but oftentimes I see book titles. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta read that. I'm gonna read that. And then I buy the book, and then sometimes I don't get a chance to read it, or I put it off, and then I got all these books and then I don't read it. So unfortunately, there's no discipline. So I want to talk about, or give you guys some do's and don'ts and some ideas of how you can minimize minimize. Sorry. Okay, so you can reduce your buying habits, that you don't get too caught up in just spending and throwing out here, because oftentimes when you go out and spend all that money and buying things, you're often doing it because you're bored or because you're trying to fill a void. And you really have to be brutally honest with yourself, oops. Why did I just buy this item? Do I really need it? One moment. I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm back. That's better, because sometimes the hair gets all in my face and then I can't really do my makeup. I tried it. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. But anywho, yes, so I've got some ideas of how you can control that and to make sure that you don't wind up looking in your closet and then you see all this clothes or different clothes with tags on it that you haven't used. And mind you, I can still go through my closet and see, oh my gosh, I didn't even wear this. I forgot all about it, or books. Oh shoot, I didn't even read that book, or what else could it be? Foods. Yeah, food. Everything. Oftentimes we just go out and we buy things that we just don't need, and again, we're trying to fill a void. This is, by the way, this is Benefit. This is precisely my brow pencil, and this is the color 5, a little bit darker. So I use this to outline my eyebrows. So I got some ideas. What I do, my biggest weakness is buying makeup and clothes. I love buying clothes from Zara, and I love buying makeup, but at one point it becomes too much. What else? Yeah, and books. So what I do is, for the clothes, I only buy the clothes where I see, okay, I need like, I definitely need a new shirt. Maybe the other shirt is torn or doesn't look so nice or it's out of style. So, I only buy things where I say, okay, I definitely need something new. And if I need something new, then I have to wear it the very next day. I know it sounds crazy, but I do. I wear it the next day. So therefore, I don't go out and I don't buy unseasonal clothes, because if I buy unseasonal clothes, then I forget about it. So I really try to buy things that I need in that moment and where I know, okay, I can wear it tomorrow. So therefore, I don't put it off. And I know this is looking crazy as I'm drawing it, but it'll get better, I promise. I only buy things, clothes where I actually say, okay, I need it. I need a new jacket. And another thing to do, if I buy something new, like a new jacket or a new pants, if I have to absolutely have it, then I have to give something away. So therefore, I got to look through my closet and see what I can give away. And you have to be disciplined. I mean, literally. Do not buy it and then be like, okay, I'm gonna buy it and I promise I'm gonna wear it towards the end of the week. No, don't do that. Don't do that, because then you get into this, anything can come up, and then you forget about it. And then a year later, you look in the closet and be like, whoa, I remember I bought that, but I didn't wear it. So only buy the clothes or items where you really need it. Maybe you got a stain on a shirt and wasn't able to get rid of it, and so you weren't able to get the stain out. So Okay, so that's a reason why maybe you need a new shirt or perhaps a new white t-shirt. Another thing is go through your clothes, and you'd be surprised how many new outfits you can create with the clothes that you already have, especially if they still got tags on them. And do not buy trendy things. If you buy something trendy, then make sure it's extremely cheap. But I would really try not to stick too much to trends, because they come and go. There are some pieces that are in forever, so it's not such a bad thing. But really stay away from trend clothes, because I fell into that trap as well. Okay, guys, I'm going to use Yves Saint Laurent, and this is Culture Brow. Oh, and before that, I had used my Bravo conditioner primer, and I always put that on first before I put on my eyebrow gel. Yes, my eyebrow gel. Yes. Okay, so here we go again. I hate that. I'm like talking. You ever have that? You just be talking, and then you be like, oh, okay, what did I just say? Be disciplined, okay? Just only buy the things which you know that you have to have. And that's what I wanted to say. Yes. Oh man, I hate it. It always comes and goes. If you take the time out and go through your closet, you'd be surprised how many new outfits that you can put together. I've done that too. I'm like, and oftentimes, a lot of these styles, they kind of repeat. So especially Zara, I don't know how many times they've brought out like the same kind of jacket. I mean, maybe the fit is a teeny bit different, but oftentimes the items are kind of the same. I mean, really, if you got time, if you're a Zara fan like me, H&M is a different story. They're very trendy. I mean, sometimes Zara too, but I find that Zara, they just reproduce the same look, different color, maybe a tad bit of alteration in the fitting of the form fitting of the clothes, but in general it's almost the same. So you fall into the trap, especially with the jeans. I've noticed I got so many tight skinny jeans with high waist, and they all kind of look the same. I mean, I'm embarrassed to say they do. I mean, I got about 20-30 pairs of jeans, and in all honesty, I probably only wear 2 or 3. So go through your old clothes, see what you can put together, and again, stay away from trends. I really wouldn't do trends because oftentimes with trendy clothes, you got to wear it that day. I mean, really, wear it that day, because trends, they come and go. They really do. They come and go. So if you wait 1 or 2 weeks and then you want to decide to put it on, and then it's already out, especially if you buy it. I mean, I find it like a huge waste of money if you're like into if you're into name brand items. That's the name brand items. They're extremely expensive, and then oftentimes you can get it at the cheaper places like Zara or H&M, or I don't know what are all the other places. Fashion. What is it? Fashionette? No, not Fashionette. What is it? What's that store that everybody likes to go to? Okay, whatever. Oftentimes, you can get that trend-setting style at a cheaper store. I wouldn't pay all that money, because you're going to be stuck with that item, and then 2, 3, 4 years later, you're going to be like, oh man, I've spent all this money, and then you're not going to get that money back. Clothes depreciate, so you can forget it. You might get a third of it back, if that. So I would really try to stay away from trends and go through your clothes and see what you have that you can already, put together, and you'll be surprised, really. And get into the habit of wearing it today or tomorrow. and not, put it in the closet and wait. Don't buy seasonal clothing because, like I said, that's another way that, things will be stuck up in your closet, and then you'll be like, dog, I never did get down to it. And I think it's okay also to buy a dress where okay, I can't fit into it now. This is my motivation dress. If that's the case, then, buy it. But only buy one. Don't buy a heap of clothing, Be realistic too, If you're weighing 500 pounds, you're not going to get down to a dress, a size 0 dress. Not really. What are the chances of that? So you have to also be realistic and try to keep that item out. If you can, hang it out on your door so you can see it daily. So okay, that is a dress. I gotta get into that. I'm not gonna buy anything else. This is what I'm gonna get into. You have to, be disciplined with it. And the same also applies with if you like makeup. Like me, I'm a huge makeup fan. There was one point where I was just going out and, I had to get the latest palette. And it's okay, but then I started to notice with a lot of these palettes, the colors repeat. Yes, they repeat. I mean, the only thing that you're really investing in or buying, and it's the name oftentimes, and you might get one color that's different, but the rest of the colors, they all repeat. I mean, literally, they might be a tad bit off, but they're all pretty much the same, or you might be paying for the packaging as well. So I really reduced that. I don't go out and get every palette anymore because those palettes can run out. They get extremely expensive. Okay, so guys, I'm going to use MAC, my favorite. These are all my go-to everyday makeup products. This is Studio Finish Concealer, and this is the color NC45. So stay away from those palettes. What I do now, if I have to get a palette, then I'll buy it on sale. And it's only because, there's some colors that I want to have, and I buy a palette now once every 6 months, if that now. I mean, I really reduced it. And I love makeup, but it adds up. I mean, that's a lot of money if you think about it. And especially if you're like me, I'm the type who likes to use, I like good products. I'm not saying that the cheaper products aren't good, but I don't know, that there's just a difference. I love MAC products, and MAC, we know it's not that inexpensive. So if you have to buy a palette, then reduce it, be disciplined, and then, buy it maybe once every third month or whatever. And makeup products, if you run out of items that you love, then, of course, then you have to buy it. But don't go out and then just buy everything just because, just to try it out. I mean, what you can do also is buy, you can get the samples. Oftentimes, a lot of the beauty supply stores will give you samples. At least they do over here. I'm sure they do it over there in the States as well. And that way you can try it out. And if you absolutely have to have it, and you say, okay, this is something I know that I'm going to wear or use forever, then go ahead and do it. But again, you have to be disciplined. You cannot just go out and just buy, because then you're gonna. I mean, I've seen influencers, and sometimes they'll go through their makeup products, and it's crazy. I mean, unless they're getting, sent, unless it's being sent to them on promotion, that's something different, because they're getting paid to, wear these or try out these products. That's something totally different. They're not really spending your money, but that stuff adds up. I'm telling you, it adds up. And the thing is, with makeup, if you don't use it within a year or so, a lot of times this stuff goes bad. I mean, I can't tell you how, like, especially like MAC. The last time I was at home, I went to an outlet center. It was a MAC outlet store, and they had all these MAC products that were so super cheap. And I was just like, oh yeah, it's on sale, so I'm gonna go get it because it's on sale. And then I didn't use any of those products. I still have them. I can show it to you. I still have those products, and they're just as dried up. I mean, some of the stuff is okay, but my point is, I bought it for nothing. I'm sitting on it, and I'm so embarrassed because I'm sitting on that stuff and did not use it. So once again, you have to show some discipline there. Only buy the things that you really have to have, and unless somebody gives it to you for a gift, and that's something totally different. But in general, you gotta show some discipline. Foods, you can also overdo it in buying foods. Especially now during the pandemic, we're all buying a whole bunch of food that we're probably not going to eat no time soon because we're all like scared that, what if there's a shortage of food? So you go out and you buy all these cans and whatever else. There used to be this show where it was like, I think it's called something like Couponers. I don't know, but either way, these people would go out and they had like tons of coupons, and then they would just go out and buy all these groceries. I mean, I'm talking like cartloads of groceries. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you've seen that show. I just can't think of the name of it. But I was shocked. I mean, and in their basement, they had like a whole grocery store of items. And I'm like, that's like hoarding. That's a new way of hoarding, even though they say, well, I have it as a backup, but they knew daggone well they were not going to eat all that food. I mean, that's ridiculous. And then I saw some people who did it, they were collecting groceries, but they did it for a good cause, which is something different. They got all that food so that they can give to other people. So that's something different. It's a good deed. You're not keeping it and hoarding it for yourself. I mean, a lot of those products, as we all know, they all have expiration dates on it, so you can't keep that stuff for too long. It's going to be expired, and then what are you going to do? You can't eat all that stuff in 1 or 2 days. You have to show some discipline. You can't go out there and just be shopping, and especially because it's on sale. And sometimes those sales, you got to be careful with those sales because they'll get you. You'll be thinking, oh wow, it's on sale. Let me just get it. Just because it's on sale because it's cheaper. But that's a booby trap. Because again, you buy the stuff and then you're sitting on it. And unless, like I said, you have to have that discipline where you got to use it now, or eat it up now, or tomorrow. Prepare it this week and don't wait. Of course, it's not a bad thing to have a little bit of a supply, but just don't overdo it. You don't need 20 cans of green beans or 10 cans of corn, And if so, then why don't you grow your own stuff? It's anyway better. Most of the stuff has got processed chemicals or whatever in it, so you don't need it. It's unnecessary. If one day a food shortage happens, then that's anyway not going to last you 10 or 20 cans, right? Especially if you got a big family, so I think oftentimes it's a little bit of greed. But once again, as I mentioned before, it has a lot to do with trying to fill a void, I wrote down a whole list. Appliances, same thing. If you're like into appliances and you like to watch the Q channel, I don't know, does the Q channel still exist over there? I'm not sure, but they have these channels where you watch and they'll show you all these amazing appliances excuse me, that are so great and you can use them and blah blah blah, and then you go out and you order the stuff, and then maybe you use it, maybe you don't. It happened to me too. I'm telling you, everything I'm telling you guys, I can relate because it happened to me. Okay, so I'm not just telling you just to be like, don't do this and don't do that. I'm not preaching. I'm telling you because it happened to me. I'm totally guilty of it. Okay, so this I'm gonna use MAC now, strobe cream, and this is another go-to product that I like to use, and this is in the color Golden Light. Yeah, I bought appliances, and oh my goodness, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use that. You know, I've gone out and bought cookbooks. I'm vegan, so I'm like, oh yeah, I bought some cookbooks. I'm like, oh, this looks so easy. And, I just got inspired. And then, they'll be like, okay, you need this appliance, in order for it to work. And then, it'll help you make your life easier and preparing the foods. And so you go out and buy it. And then, I don't know, something comes up and you just never get around to it. At least me, I never got around to it. I bought these appliances and they're sitting there. And maybe 2 or 3 years later, maybe I decide to use it. Great. I done spent my money for nothing. It takes up space. And what for? So again, you can apply the same ways or same discipline for makeup, clothing. You can apply it to appliances. Only buy the things that you need. And with sales again, they're great because we all love sales. But make a list on the things that you absolutely have to have, and of the things you have to have, and then wait till they go on sale. And that way, you stop yourself from just going out and buying anything. Try to, narrow it down and have a direction instead of just waiting until something goes on sale and you're like, ooh, okay, what can I buy? Like a junkie, and then you'll be stuck with all these things that you don't use and that you don't need. And then maybe eventually you'll do a flea market and sell it for pennies. So be careful with the sales. Sales are good. Like I said, who doesn't love a sale? But you have to be disciplined with the sales. Just go and get the items that you really want to have, and when they go on sale, then heck, who doesn't love that? And one thing used to burn me up is because I like to shop at Zara. I'm a big Zara fan, but because I just think you can get some classy clothes and then you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. I'm so not into going out and buying super expensive things because, like I said, clothes depreciate, just like cars, they depreciate. They have no real value unless you have super high-end items, and even then, you will never get that price back, and they don't really go up in value, not really. Some vintage items, of course, but again, they have to be something like a Chanel or Hermes or excuse me, something like that. But no, you have to show some discipline and only buy the items that you really want to have. Oh, guys, MAC Pro Long Concealer, the color NC45. Again, I tell you, I'm just like, I get carried away and I'm just rambling, and sometimes I forget to share the items. But if you guys been following me, and I hope you have, and watching some of my videos, and these are products I use every day, so I'll be taking your notes. Yeah, discipline. You just gotta have some discipline. I treat, and I believe it has been recognized as an addiction, shopping. You have to treat it like an addiction. It's like food, I see shopping kind of like food, a food addiction. There are people who just eat just to be eating, even though they're not even hungry. They just be eating. Well, there are people out there who just be shopping just to be shopping, even though they don't need the stuff. It's the same thing. So you have to really show some discipline, and you have to treat it like it's a disease or an addiction. You know, you have to really set limits and get busy. Get busy. Find other ways to invest your money. Find other ways to invest your money. Invest it in yourself, meaning why don't you take some classes or get a hobby? For me, I started getting into tennis, so I'm like a tennis freak. So I'm playing tennis every day, and yeah. I mean, now I'm not playing. I haven't played in a while because I messed up my shoulder. I'm hoping this month that I'll be able to start playing again. Keep the fingers crossed. Okay, so now I'm going to use the Huda Beauty. It's the Overachiever Peanut Butter. It's the color. Yeah. Find a hobby. Find other ways to invest that money, and invest it where you know that you're gonna see some results, something that's gonna last. Nothing materialistic like clothes and makeup, because that stuff doesn't last. That stuff fades away, it gets old, and you just won't get anything out of it. Whereas if you invest that money in education you're gonna have forever. Or if you invest it in a hobby, you know, my mom always told me, once you learn something, you never really forget it. So if you're, I don't know, if, you know, look for hobbies that interest you. Try them out, you know, get out there and meet people. You know, okay, I know right now we're in the middle of a pandemic and we can't really get out there and meet people, but go online. I mean, back in the days, I used to go on this group called Meetup, and there you found I found other Americans, and then they would meet, you know, once a month in a restaurant, and then you interchange, and you know how that is, you know, you meet people. So they oftentimes organize different events, maybe, you know, a trip to the museum, or, I mean, there's just so much to do. But stay off that computer as far as, you know, searching for things that you don't need, or stay out of those stores, you know, because you're not going to find what you're looking for in those stores and in clothes. And because, like I said, there's no real value in it. Or take a trip, you know, save that money, use that money for taking a trip. I mean, that's something that you'll have with you forever. You'll always keep those memories, you know. If it's not up here, then you'll keep it on the paper or in digital, you know. Their memories is something that lasts. But oftentimes that's what it is. You're just trying to fill a void, you know. There's something's missing that you're not getting. Boredism. I remember back in the days, I used to sell vintage clothing, and oftentimes, especially when I was at home visiting, I used to go to the flea markets with my mom, or we would go to these, what do they call it? I tell you, I've been away for so long. We would go to these, what do you call these, estate sales, exactly, where people would get rid of their, you know, they would sell everything in their house. And I was like blown over, like some of the homes that you went into and all the things that they had accumulated. I mean, tons of stuff. And it was just, some of those homes I just didn't even want to go through because it was just so much stuff. It's hoarding. Basically, that's what it is. It's hoarding. And I'm like, wow, I never want to be that person. If I pass away, I don't want somebody going through my stuff and then like, dang, she sure did have a lot of stuff, tons of stuff. You know, obviously this lady was lonely, didn't have real life. So, I mean, what is she doing with all this stuff, you know? what does she do? You know, does she have other memories? Does she invest her money in other things? You know, I don't know. I'm babbling a little bit, but my point is, it was embarrassing to go into some of these homes and then just to see how much things that people accumulated. So it is a big problem. It really is. Now, especially now during the pandemic, you know, people are looking for avoidances, ways to kill off time and to feel good about themselves. And it's okay to feel good about yourself, but at one point you buy those things and then it's just like you may be wearing once or twice, and then the feeling comes again, oh shoot, I need something else, you know, so you're never really full. Whereas if you're putting that money into something that's going to have a lasting effect, knowledge, you don't ever get full with knowledge, you know. And it's such an amazing feeling. I find it such an amazing feeling when I put that money where I'm learning something, you know, because perhaps I can turn around and teach somebody what I learned, or I can show them, or it's something for me, something I know how to do. I mean, that, to me, that's more fulfilling than going out and buying a cute bag, or, you know, if you're into name brand stuff, or going out and, you know, buying a Gucci bag for what, you know, so you can feel better about yourself. I mean, you're wearing somebody else's name. Think about it. You have to wear somebody else's name in order to feel better. How crazy is that? Boy, the brainwashing is super deep. I tell you, it really is. You have no idea. It's really deep. I mean, think about it. Why can't you wear your own name and feel proud? You know? Somehow we've all been convinced that wearing this person's name, we're going to feel 10 times better about ourselves, and we're going to be seen as different, you know. It's crazy, absolutely crazy if you think about it. But I'm not going to lie, I also went on my I gotta have me a Chanel bag. I still wouldn't mind having a Chanel bag, but it's still crazy. I mean, when I think about all that money that you invest in a bag that's going to depreciate, the moment you buy it, it's going to depreciate. Maybe in 10 or 20 years it might still have some value, but you'll never get that money back what you had paid for it, you know. Otherwise, unless you're super lucky. But only go into things or invest into items where you know that you're going to have something out of it. Okay, guys, sorry, once again, this is MAC, and this is Studio Fix Fluid SP15, and this is the color NC45, and of course, I'm always using my beauty blender. I love my beauty blender. Yeah. So, let's see, which palette am I going to wear today? I don't know, that just popped up in my head. I have another idea what I tend to do, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm still like, ooh, I want to keep up with the latest fashion and style. Of course, I don't want to spend too much money. So what I often do, and might help you out too, hang on for a second, let me go and choose a palette and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to use my Naked Urban Decay Heat. This is like a really good, as you see, it's a go-to palette, and I'm really getting my use out of it. And that's another thing too. Look, these are the colors that I've been using. I barely use these colors, so I'm also training myself to make sure I use all the colors. I'm going through my palettes, and I really try to use them. I mean, even, just so I don't, see another palette and think, oh, I got to have it, just because it's new and, there's one color in there that you're like, oh, that is such a bomb color. Don't do it. Don't fall into that trap, because otherwise you're going to be running around with tons of palettes and you're only going to have like 3 or 4 use shadows, and then the rest is going to be full. So, but anywho, okay, I'm going to use my MAC brush. It's the 217. And think I'm gonna go kind of dark. I'm gonna use this He Devil. Excuse me, this one right here. What I do, and maybe it might help you too. Okay, this is as far as with shopping online and buying clothes and stuff. What I'll do is I'll go on the website and then I'll look around and I'll shop and I'll be like, oh yeah, I like this and I like that, and I'll put it in the shopping cart. Yeah, I put it in the shopping cart. And then what I do at the end, I turn my phone off and I go to sleep. That's right. I don't buy it. I just leave it in the shopping cart. And some websites, at least I know Zara's website does that, but oftentimes they'll let you, they won't kick the items out so soon. So I'll go to sleep. I'll put the stuff in the shopping cart and I go to sleep. And usually what happens with me the next day, I forgot all about it. Yes, I forgot all about it. So that's a sign to tell me, well, I didn't need it in the first place. I'm just, looking at it and just, because it looks so good and it looks good on the model. And that doesn't mean anything. People, trust me, and I'm sure it's happened to you too. Then you see a cute dress or a cute top and you're like, oh, that looks good on her. That's probably gonna look good on me. Oftentimes it's not the case. And then sometimes, you don't even know if that item is, if it's the right type of material that you like. These guys, they do an immaculate job with this illusion of making the up to the model and how they present the clothes. They just look so wow, and you're just thinking, you're just visualizing yourself, oh, that could be me too. And then you get the item and it's like, wait a minute, this don't look like that, and I'm really not the type of person that sends things back, although I've changed that now. I send things back now, but I take it a step further. Like I said, I look at the item and I'm wowing it and I'm like, oh, I gotta have it, and I put it in the shopping cart and then I go to sleep. And the next day, if I don't think about it, or if I'm not, if it didn't stay on my mind, and then maybe 3 or 4 days later, and then I go back in and then I'll check it out, and then oftentimes I'm like, I don't even like it anymore, or I forgot all about it. So that's a great way of, if you have to just have the feeling of shopping and having the feeling, okay, you're going to get something new or whatever, then try that. It helps me. Like I said, I'm talking from experience because I go through it too, really, because who doesn't want to look good? I'm going to now use my matte brush, and I have no idea what the number is on it, but it looks like this. It's basically for eyeshadows. So you just take a little bit and just dippy dab do on it. So I'm going to use the color En Fuego. En Fuego. Yes, so just get some discipline, all that stuff. You don't need all that stuff, really. You really don't. What you need is something to do. You need a hobby. And once you get that hobby, you're going to forget. You won't even have time, or you just need to get busy. Maybe start a new business. I'm doing it. I'm starting a business too. Businesses. So I'm reading, reading books. That was another for me. But now I'm disciplined. With books, what I do, I don't buy the books anymore. As far as, I don't buy them in paperback, because now first of all, I don't have any room because I have a huge library of books. So I don't do that anymore. I'm really now a Kindle baby. I've really turned to Kindle. Kindle's great because, like I said, they got audio books if you don't have the time to read. You can, you can select the option of putting the audio book on. So what I do now is, if there's a book that I have to have or I'm interested in reading, oh no, don't tell me. Oh, this is an old one. I'm about to use my eyeliner. The MAC Technical liner, and this is the color Photo Gravure. This is also a go-to. I use this every day. This one is out. I bought some more. Yes, what I do now, Kindle offers this, they offer the possibility of sending samples. So you can read like the first few pages of that book, and then, but literally you have to read it in that moment. So, you know, there's several books, and I get the samples. I don't buy the book unless it's a book where, okay, I'm reading the first few pages and I'm like, okay, I am going to get this book. I'm going to read it. It's definitely going to do that, you know, in that moment. Then I'll buy it. But now I just send myself samples. Yes, I do that. Told you guys, I'm not perfect. And don't let nobody fool you. Nobody's perfect. We all have something where we're just like, oh gosh, I'm embarrassed. I got all this stuff and I'm not even using it. But I've done it with everything, so that's how I know that it is a little bit of a disease. I don't know if it's a little bit, it is a disease because it can ruin you. Just like drugs can ruin you, just like if you eat too much, that can ruin you. Well, if you're shopping too much, you can be ruined, financially ruined. And who wants to be financially ruined? It's a nightmare. It sucks. It sucks not having money. Let's get real. It sucks. So, if you're going to spend your money, then spend it where you know that you're going to get something out of it. Where you know that I'm gonna be able to profit off of it. You know, try to spend money where you know I'm gonna be able to get some money out. Something gonna come back out of it. You know, I think there's good debt and bad debt. So now I'm gonna use the color Ashes, and this is my Urban Decay brush, and I'm just gonna tap there just a little bit. No, my video is long again. I know, but I have so much to say, guys. I think it's a serious topic, and it's something that should not be taken lightly, and I think it needs to be addressed and talked about more. I mean, I've seen a few documentaries on TV, you know, talking about women and their addiction. I would say, and it's not even just a woman addiction. Men have it too. They just do it differently, but they have it too. They might, their addictions are usually a lot more expensive. You know, some guys will go out and buy cars, or they'll go out and buy unnecessary equipment that they don't need. Maybe tools that are just sitting in the garage or whatever that they don't need. So guys have it too. Or they might also have, you know, drinking problems. Maybe they go out and buy all these alcohols that they don't need or won't use. And some alcohols can be quite expensive. So, you know, they have it too. It's not just women. You know, this day and age, you know, it's so much easier to get in debt because everything is at your foot. I mean, you can shop 24 hours. That's crazy if you think about it. I mean, if you have a shopping disease, like I said, you can really ruin yourself. Okay, I'm going to use now the Yves Saint Laurent, and this is the color number 1, Noir Minimal Matte. Excuse me. I don't know when I'm talking so much. Sometimes I lose my voice. I guess my throat gets dry. I don't know, maybe that has to do with age. I can run my mouth. I'll admit it. I have so much to say. No, guys, they have it too, if not worse, you know, because they want to look and feel good. I mean, it's an actual disease, and it's scary because, like I said, if you don't have any discipline, if you don't show any discipline, you can really go into the financial ruins, period. You know, that's like if a person who loves to eat has 24 hours access of food. I mean, well, actually, in some cases, it is like that. I mean, I know in the States, there are a lot of stores, grocery stores that are open 24 hours, including the restaurants. And then, therefore, that person with that food disease has 24 hours access of eating. I mean, and then you have these shows like 300-pound whatever, and then you see these people. I mean, it's sick in that aspect. It's really sick. So you have to show some discipline and get a life. Get a life, get a hobby, find something which you love to do. Put your energy into that, and stay consistent. And like I said, if you have to have the feeling like you gotta go out and buy something, then try my idea with just shopping, putting everything into the shopping cart, and then go to sleep. Just go to sleep. And then if it's still on your mind and you've thought about it and you're like, okay, if I buy this item, is this something I'm gonna wear in the next few years? Because that's another thing too. I have to look at an item and say, am I going to wear this next year? Am I going to wear it in 2 years? Am I going to wear it in 3 years? Is this something where I'm going to get a lot of use out of? Is it going to be a favorite one? If you have to go into doubt and think, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to wear it. If you start thinking like that, then no, don't get it. Or like I said, if you put all the stuff, you went shopping online and then you put everything in the shopping cart and then you go to sleep and the next day you forgot about it, then boom, there's your answer right there. You didn't need it in the first place. It's just that simple. Don't make it complicated. Just show some discipline. So guys, I'm gonna jump out of this video. I know I'm gonna ramble, and I don't want to keep you all up from your amazing day or evening or afternoon. So I got my oh gosh, what are these? Tweezers, eyelash tweezers, yes, and my Ardell Remy eyelashes. I'm going to put these on, and then I'm going to do a little bit of highlighter, blush, and lipstick, and then I'm going to get out of here and let you guys go and carry out your amazing day. And I hope you all will take note of what I said and apply it and try it and think about it and be brutally honest with yourself. Honest. You have to be honest, because you're not going to kick anything if you're like, well, I just buy it a little bit, oh, come on, just a little bit is not going to happen. No, if you know you're the type that goes out and shops and just has no control, then this is for you. This message is definitely for you, and it's going to help you, really, so you don't, turn out in the end and be like, dog, why do I have all these things? I mean, literally, I can show you in my closet. I still got a lot of items where I just have the tag on it, or I got items in there and I still can't fit in them. It's embarrassing. I know it's embarrassing, and I'm not proud of it, but I've admitted it. So can you. So, okay, I'm gonna apply my eyelashes and I'm gonna come back and do the highlighter and blush, and then I'm out of here. So one moment, I'll be back. So, got those eyelashes on, and again, they are popping. And that's another thing. I've used these eyelashes, bought them, I guess, a month ago. And I'm using them, reusing them, taking off the glue and reusing them. I hope I can get maybe another month use out of it. But if not, it's okay. But try to, extend your products if possible, and don't be so quick to get rid of them. But as I was putting on my eyelashes, I was thinking, I personally think, there should be like some type of like restriction, not really a restriction, but a warning. So when you go on these websites, there should be a sign or a flash that says, warning, going on this website can cause this type of condition, take precaution, just like they do with cigarettes. I don't know how it is regulated in the States, but over here, like the cigarette companies, they are required to put like the pictures on the cigarette packets of what can what the causes could be if you smoke too much. They don't do that for alcohol, strange enough, but they do it for cigarettes. But I personally think they should do the same thing, for anything that can be addictive, especially shopping. Have this warning, take precaution, give people the warning. But I don't think it'll ever happen because there's just too many greedy people out there and it would hurt their pockets. Okay guys, so I'm going to use blush. Yeah, I was looking through my blushes and then I was thinking, oh man, I only have 3 or 4 blushes. I didn't go crazy on the blushes. I got a few and go-to, and that's it. Again, the products, they'll repeat, and then you just be out there spending, and then you'll look back and you're like, wait a minute, that color looked like that color, this color looked like that. They might be slightly off, but in general, it's the same thing. So I'm going to use NARS. And this is a blush, they call it cheek palette. So they got like different colors. They got the little bit of a highlighter. That's another one. Take care with the highlighters, guys, because they also repeat. How many highlighters did I invest in? I got one pack. I got one from Anastasia, Beverly Hills, and then I just got one from Too Faced, like maybe a half a year ago. And then I got MAC, and then I got Fenty, and that's it. I'm not getting any more, no more blushes. Highlighters, because they repeat. They might be a little bit off. You might get a little, a different little glow. Maybe if you turn this way or that way, but in general, they're all the same. And you're just going out and spending your money, and you don't need that stuff. So just have your basics, and that's it. And you can still be looking good, and you'll be surprised. A lot of these palettes, and you can mix them and create your own colors, and then get a different effect. If you have to have a different look, Okay, so I'm gonna use this one. They call that Hard Party. And this is my blush brush that I've gotten from NARS. But literally, you can apply this theory to everything, have some discipline, take a look back and see, what are you really using? And do you really need to get more of that, whatever you're using? Is it necessary? Because these companies, they make billions. I mean, it's crazy just selling the same stuff. And that can also apply with holidays too. How many Christmas decorations do you need? New Christmas decorations. Halloween. I love Halloween. I'm a Halloween freak. But at one point I'm like, okay, I'm not going to buy any more scary. I got enough. There's got to be a limit. Use this. This is from Fenty. Go-to. And this is Ginger Binge and Moscow Mule. So a lot of my stuff should be looking like this because I'm getting good use out of it. If it's like brand new, then okay, she obviously didn't have it that long and she's not using that much, Get some good use out of the stuff. Use it every day. Make them your everyday products, and don't wait to a special moment to wear that or use that, because there's never really going to be a special moment. Of course they do occur, but with today, you got to make every day special. So make it special. Use your stuff every day. Makeup goes for makeup too. Don't wait to put on makeup because you're waiting for a special day, so you're going to buy this item and then put it off to the side. Remember, if you buy something, use it in that day or within that week. I mean, literally stick to it. Make a plan, because this is serious, guys. It's a straight up disease, and it applies with everything. Anything where it's where you're consuming. There's a danger behind it. I don't care what nobody say. And these companies, they're famous for, you know, selling the same product, but just packaging, they pack it different. Tongue twister. They pack it different, so they sell it so many different ways, but they're obviously selling you the same product. I even noticed that I used to be, okay, this is really old school, and it's probably going to tell a little bit of my age even more, but I don't have no problem with it. I'm going to be 50 this year, so who cares? It's great. But I used to be like in the late 90s, I used to really be into Billy Blank's, Tybo. I was a huge Tybo fan, and I got all his CDs and I mean, I was really into his stuff. And then later on, he went from CDs to digital, and then from digital, then it, you know, got to, you know, I don't know what else he was selling, but I pretty much finally got everything. And then I started to think, wait a minute, he's doing the same old moves. It's nothing really new, you know, and they just repackage it and selling it. And it's a genius idea, but it sucks because, you know, it's creating a lot of sick people out there. You know, you're just going out there and buying and buying and buying, and there's no end, you know, and these companies, they don't care. There's a lot of greedy people out there. They don't care. Okay, Hudy Beauty. And this is the color Trendsetter. It's a liquid matte, and this is my go-to lipstick. So, guys, just be careful and invest in yourself, invest in education, invest in your kids' education. Do something where it's going to have a longing effect and where you really get something out of it. Don't go into this materialistic mode, and because you don't have value out of materialistic things. They look nice, but eventually you're going to get bored with it. Be honest with yourself. You're going to get bored with it. So, I usually like to put a little highlighter in my eyes. Oh my gosh, we're going on an hour. I know. I'm going to hurry. I just have so much to say. And I like talking with you all. And I'm glad I can chat. I'm going to end this video. So this, oh, by the way, this is from Urban Decay. And this is Heavy Metal Glitter Gel. And just like gives your eyes a little bit of pop effect. You can only use a little bit, a teeny bit, because this stuff is really, it's heavy. As you see, I just took a teeny bit, and now you see all this glitter. It shouldn't be too much. Just a little bit, just enough to make your eyes pop. Yes, pop. You can still pop. So just a teeny bit. What y'all think? So I'm gonna do this trick, what I've been seeing on Instagram a lot. Wait a second. Voila! So that is my look for today, and thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed what I had to say and was able to get something out of it, then please like the video and share. Sharing is caring. Share with your friends, subscribe. I've been really trying to put out videos every single day. I'm not gonna make big promises. I try to put them out every day, if not every other day, at least 3 or 4 videos a week, because I just have so much to say and so much to talk about, and I love to talk. So if you want to be able to catch up and stay tuned to what I say, then subscribe, and don't forget to put your notifier on or your klingel so you'll know when I upload a video. Other than that, guys, I wish you an amazing day, and yeah, till next time, bye. Bye.